My name is Joel Aldridge and I'm the Managing Director of Hiring People. And what I'm going to talk about today is how you can recruit in-house cost effectively and time efficiently. And I hope that in around 15 minutes time, you'll feel more confident about how you can attract as many of the right type of people as possible to a role. And even in a situation where you're inundated with applications, how you can significantly reduce the amount of time you're spending on recruitment. Just before I go into that, just a bit of background on me. So I set up Hiring People back in 2013 with my brother and his business partner. Collectively, we've got over 60 years experience in recruitment. And something significant happened in the mid-noughties, and that was the birth of social media sites such as LinkedIn, and also online job sites offering access to vast CV databases. Now, what this meant was that big businesses were able to significantly reduce their dependency on agencies. So they're able to bring most, or if not all, of their recruitment in-house. But what we noticed was that SMEs, small businesses in particular, were still falling into one of two categories. Either they were completely reliant on recruitment agencies, even for sort of junior to mid-level easy roles to fill. Now, obviously that can be very expensive. I think the average recruitment fee is around £4,500. Or they would be doing the recruitment in-house. The problems they may have with that is they wouldn't have the systems and processes in place to manage that additional workload. They may not have the means to be able to market the rollout to enough job sites, which would obviously limit the number of applications and quality that they're getting. And also they wouldn't necessarily know how to market the role in a way to target their target audience. So we felt that with a little bit of outside support, access to some of the systems that bigger businesses have, and support around the content and getting it out to a wide audience, we could help small businesses do most, or if not in some cases, all of their recruitment in-house. So what are the challenges for a small business to recruit in-house? Well, I speak to thousands of, I've sort of helped thousands of small businesses over several years now, and there are three common grumbles which I hear on a regular basis, and some of you may be familiar with these. That they're not getting enough good applications, they're receiving too many poor, or this is the word, irrelevant applications. So many of you would have seen that, where you get CVs from people who have absolutely no relevance to the role at all, or they've missed out on some key points. Or they're getting so many CVs that they're not having the time to trawl through and then list a seemingly endless number of applications. So how are we going to encourage the right and the best people to apply? Well, firstly, we can start with getting the content right for the job advert. So what I've done here is I've mocked up two job adverts, both the same role, but we've called them different things. So if we look at the job title firstly, what I try and get people to do is visualize their ideal job seeker. What is that person most likely to be searching for? So job boards work a bit like Google. So the job will be prioritized based on the candidate search. So I know in this example that digital marketing manager received 3 times as many applications as digital architect. So that should be a really easy fix. And you'll all know within your own industries what is the most likely thing that job seekers will be searching. Then we come on to the salary. 62% of job seekers say that transparency on the salary was a leading factor for them to apply for the position. The other points really on the salary is that it's indexed higher on Google. That's something people don't know, and that's obviously really important when the positions are showing up. And from our own research, the adverts that we've put out that include a salary receive 20% more applications. Now, if you are including a salary, in the good example we've given, we've put 30 to 50K. We've been very considerate to put that higher level, because if you just put 30K plus commission, and let's say I was looking for the job and I put the job board asked me to put in my salary expectations and I put 50k, because you've only put 30k plus commission, this may not show up in my search, and therefore you could lose me as an application. So now just coming on to the main body of the advert. So often we receive from our clients, new clients, that's sort of a one-liner, or we might say receive a full job description. Now we need to think of the job advert more as a marketing piece to attract the right type of job seekers. A bit like your website would be designed to attract the right type of leads. So what the job seeker will see when they're scrolling through a lot of the sites is the first few lines. That's when we want to, catch their attention. But we also want to use those first few lines to discourage the irrelevant applications from clicking through to read more. So in the example I've given, do you have previous experience in all aspects of digital marketing? Do you have proficient knowledge of the CRM industry? Now, if I didn't qualify on those points, I'm less likely to waste my time as a candidate and click through to read more. And also by including the word digital marketing and CRM and words like that, it also helps with the SEO. So it's more likely that this advert will show up within somebody's search. On the third question that I've put within the beginning of the job advert, would you like a job which offers the chance to work from home? If so, please read on. Now, I know that work from home has been the most commonly searched term across the job boards week on week for the last 10 months. So if it's a work from home role, you need to shout about it. And there may be some other things, if it's not, there may be some other things that you can think of to try and encourage the right type of people to apply. Now, on to the next section on the good example that I've given. 48% of job seekers said that, so the third most important factor to a job seeker when surveyed recently said that employee benefits is the most important thing for them to filter on and apply for a job. And that comes after location and salary, which you can't really affect anyway. So it's really important to talk about some of the benefits of working with this organization. And in the example I've given, we've packed it full of things. So we've got career progression, training, health insurance, etc., etc. If we look at the other example that I've given, the sort of, I'm calling it the poor example, we've waffled on a lot about the company and what they do and when they were set up and so forth. And whilst some of that content is important, I would put it further down the bottom of the advert. And my final point around the job advert, we talk about the experience and the characteristics of the job seeker. It's so often people will put organized, hardworking, charismatic, etc., team player. Now, let's be honest, most of us would think of ourselves as having those traits. And even if we didn't, it's not going to stop us from applying anyway. And also what that does is it distracts from the more important aspects, such as the fact that in this role, they need to have experience with content writing, digital marketing platforms, etc. Now, there is an argument. Well, I think that putting some traits and characteristics is important, but you want to be selective about that. Use language that's going to attract a certain profile. So, for example, I did an advert a while ago for a client that advertised it, and it was it involved a lot of heavy lifting, and they were attracting so they had some nail technicians apply for the position, for example. And I'm sure there are some very tough nail technicians out there, but these particular ones weren't, I don't think. So, but I said, well, what do they need to be able to lift? And they said, well, 20 kg bags. So we put in, okay, well, you will be able to, you will need to be able to lift 20 kg bags. And actually we use that as an opening question to try and discourage the irrelevant applications to click through. And then for the rest of the advert, what they'll be doing and about the company, etc., which I've left off. So hopefully from that, you can see how by using the right type of content, using the right type of language, making it engaging, using it as a marketing piece, you can attract as many of the right type of people as possible, but also discourage those irrelevant applications from clicking through. So I'm just going to leave those up on the screen for a few moments if anybody wants to jot those down. So 62% of job seekers said that salary was a leading factor for them applying. Job adverts with a salary attract on average 20% more applications. And I know that that's not always possible. Actually, there are situations where you can't include a salary, and you may need to put competitive, but if you can include a salary, do so. 48% of candidates will filter their job search based on benefits such as career progression, training, health insurance, etc. And one thing I missed actually on that opening section was something that Phil touched on about the company mission and those types of things. So you also, just after that section, you want to sell the company. Why do they want to come and apply for you over a company down the road? Obviously, as I said, the salary is what the salary is, but how else can you affect that? How else can you attract the top talent? What else have you got to offer? Work from home is currently the most commonly searched term by a job seeker. So if there is that option, shout about it. Other things include immediate start, for example, at the moment. And in the example that I gave, digital marketing manager received 3 times as many applications as digital architect. And again, you just want to apply that logic to your particular industry. Don't call it something obscure. People won't find it. Keep it as simple as possible and think about what the job seeker is searching for. So on to my final point is around managing the CVs time efficiently. So I'm going to talk about candidate management software, and this is or otherwise known as applicant tracking software or job posting software. Now, this is something that as a small business, you're not going to go out and buy. Frankly, it would be excessive if you're only recruiting, 1 to perhaps 10 roles a year. But fixed cost recruiters will often allow you to use theirs for free. And what they're also able to do is pass on discounted rates across the UK's leading job boards as well. So what I'm going to do just in a moment is just pass the controls back to Phil. I've got a 3-minute video on my website, which will, I hope, show you how using this type of software, you can significantly reduce the time you spend filtering through CVs rather than getting them all through as attachments and saving them to your desktop, etc. And then after that, we're just going to go into another layer of filtering on the deselection methodology. So Phil, if you can take control, please. I don't know if I need to pass the baton back to you or whether you can do it from there.
Yep, I shall do that. Can you hear me, Joel?
I can indeed, yep.
Fantastic. So I shall go back to share my screen as well. In fact, I'll just go to basic share. Okay. So I'm going to now go on to my, whoops, excuse me for a second.
Put it on the website.
Here we go. So you should be able to hear this, guys. I'm going to go back to the start and go right back to the beginning there. Struggling to get this back to the beginning.
Which you can access.
I'll start again.
By clicking on View CVs on our website. Okay. We haven't missed a great deal there.
Once you get through to this page.
Yeah, sure. I'm trying to get it back.
Give it a try, but if you can't, 30 seconds is
yeah. I'm resetting it and it's not playing ball, but yeah.
You could always just go to the website quickly and press play, but you could just go to that page again.
Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
If I go escape a second, refresh this. Bear with me 1 second, guys. It'll just take a few seconds to pop up and then we can play it from the beginning. It's a 3-minute video that Joel's put together to show us exactly how he's helped. Joel's actually been instrumental in helping me recruit as well through exactly this methodology. One thing that I find particularly useful, and I think a lot of you will, is the fact that at the moment a lot of your applications, job ads are going to result in a lot of applications because of the job market, excuse me, at the moment. So I think job deselection process is going to be really important.
So hiring people have advertised your vacancy across all of the UK's leading job boards. Now, how are you going to manage the CVs? We can set you up so the CVs all get forwarded to you as and when people apply. That's probably going to be very time consuming, especially if you're receiving lots of CVs, receiving them all as attachments, having to download them, save them to your desktop, etc. Instead, what we recommend is you use our job posting software, also known as applicant tracking software, which you can access by clicking on View CVs on our website. Now, once you get through to this page, what you can see is all of the roles that you've advertised, past and present. For the purpose of this exercise, we're just going to take a quick look at the CVs for the mechanical engineer role. Now, from here, we can view all of the CVs, and let's just start at the top. Don't worry, I'm just going to have a look at 3 or 4 very quickly. So here we can make a decision as to whether Harold Wilson is suitable for the role. So for the purpose of this, let's just give him a green flag. Gordon Brown, green flag. And Edward Heath, green flag. What we can also do here is we can run searches across social media. We can print out the CV, forward it to colleagues and so forth. Or perhaps you may just want to reply to him directly. After you've done all your CV sifting for the day, what I'd probably want to do is get back to everybody. Now, I'll probably start with the candidates that I've deemed as being suitable for the role. So I can just filter them by hitting the green flag. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send all of these individuals a simultaneous email. So I can hit reply, I can select a suitable email template. So in this instance, I want to go for a telephone interview. Now, what's really cool here is where we've got this dynamic field, candidate first name, that will actually pull through the first name of each individual candidate. So from there, from a candidate experience perspective, they'll be getting a personalized email directly from you, addressing them as an individual, but it's only going to take you a few seconds to do. Now, once you've finished with that, you can hit send, and then I'll get the email. Now, on this page, you can see any dialogue that's happened between you and the candidate, any notes that you've made, and what you might also want to do is send them a text message follow-up. You may want to set up interviews with multiple candidates, which you can do here. And there's lots of other functions that this offers. But what I wanted to do today is just show you the key aspects of the applicant tracking software and how it can really help to streamline the recruitment or the internal recruitment for a small business or somebody working internally within HR or recruitment.
That's it done, Phil.
Fantastic, no problem at all. So have you got anything just to add to wrap up, Joel?
Yeah. So there was a second point. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind just handing the controls back to me.
Sure. Just to let you know, we've got just got a couple more minutes on this, Joel. Is that okay?
That's fine. I'm
no problem at all. I'm just allowing you to share. Sorry. Yeah. You can override, I think. Can you override me at the moment?
I can. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Fantastic. So hopefully you can see that now. So the last point. So the candidate management software is hopefully showed you how you can look through CVs a lot quicker, more quickly. And the last point is on the deselection methodology, and I think that's grammatically correct. I'm not sure. And this is something I actually picked up from Action Coach. It's a really great process. So what they do, what we do with them is, let's say you've got a sales role and you've got 100 CVs that come in for that particular position. An automated email will go out to all of those candidates, and again, it will be a personalized email, and it will say something like, "Hi Phil, hi Joel, thanks for applying for the role of Business Development Manager. Next stage of the process is to give us a call on this number. You'll be asked a series of questions, etc., etc." And then what happens is, out of those 100 candidates, a lot of those will be people that have just clicked apply because it's easy to click apply. You don't want to waste your time on those, or perhaps they're only semi-committed. So from those 100 candidates, you might end up with perhaps 30. And then straight away, you can see that you've reduced your CV filtering by 70%. And now you've got 30 committed candidates to the role that you can focus on. And as a final point to that, you've also got the added benefit of having sort of a 2 or 3 minute telephone recorded interview of that candidate. And then the next stage of the process is down to you, whether you go down a group interview, which is another level of filtering, and that's something that I know Action Coach and works very well if done correctly, or you may just want to do face-to-face interviews. So just to wrap up on that, it won't let me change the page bizarrely. Can you try clicking to the next page? Phil, I still think you've got control of my screen.
Yeah, I haven't actually. So I can. Yeah, this will stop other screen sharing. No, all I can do is stop you. I can't allow you to carry on.
There we go.
There we go. It's just slow. It's just catching up. That's all.
Okay. Okay. So by implementing these principles, I know you can't see it on the screen at this stage, but I'm hoping it's going to pop up and help me out in a moment. Oh, here we go. By implementing some or all of these principles, getting your job advert content right, marketing it across multiple platforms, use candidate management software if you've got access to it, and perhaps even using the deselection methodology, you stand the best chance of recruiting in-house cost effectively and time efficiently. Thank you.